Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome back to Tony Northeastern. As you've just witnessed the N7 pulling 4 coaches up Stevenson's Bank without any trouble at all. This has just arrived yesterday actually, and as you can hear, it's on idle sound. It's just making it up as she goes along. Sounds like some of the people who are building the station, I think. Anyway, it's lovely detailed. Placed the order back in March of 2019, and it's been well worth the wait. I'm not going to go into a review of the locomotive because there's plenty of reviews out there. So, where are we at the moment? Right, before we get stuck into the station, I want to show you these line side speed indicators made by Pico. They come in a packet, and you get 4 lots in a packet, and here they are. And as you can see, they don't come painted, you've got to paint them up yourself. The lowest speed they do is 25 miles an hour. I'd like to have had a 20 or a 15 in there for entering stations and things like that. But yeah, they're great little line side addition. The paint I used is a matte 154. It's a Humbrol paint. It takes 2 coats, by the way, 2 coats of paint to get them to look like that. This one's only had 1 coat of paint, and as you can see, they're not quite as prominent as these ones. Right, let's get on with the station build, shall we? Right, and here's where we left off. As you can see, I've been humming and hawing about this rose window. So let's go back to photographic evidence, shall we? Here is a photograph of Social Station looking across the rooftops, and as you can see, there's the rose window. Quite clearly it's outside. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick with this, but the roof is missing. It was long gone before this photograph was taken. So while we're looking at this photograph, if I just move it along a little bit, we can have a look at the main roof that covers the tracks. Now, as you can see, it's quite complex. All this work, wrought iron work here, all this tie-ins, if you like, I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that yet. I might use copper wire and solder each and every single one of these joints, and then use coffee stirring sticks to go up and then come back down again. But looking at that, there's quite a few of them to make. It's going to be designed so I can lift it off as well, but that's way in the future. So let's get back to where we are. And here is that very same view. The only difference being is we have the roof going across the window. Right, so I shall carry on with making up the trusses for the roof, and I'll get back to you later. Right, so as you can see, the canopy is almost finished. I've got one more truss to make and glue into this corner here, and that should finish that off. Also, I'll have to put in 3 more trusses to go down to meet that window ledge there. So I'm going to have to put a wooden support in there, from there to there, like I have this side, and then two others which will go down lower to meet up down there with, yeah, down there. So there's still a bit more work to do on this, and then I've got to start putting some more timbers in to support the glass and the roof as well. So it's getting there, it's just that it takes an age to make these up. But while I was waiting for the glue to dry on a couple, I managed to do some work around the front of the station. And as you can see, I have painted the guttering in a burgundy red, and it looks quite good, I think. There's still the drain pipes to do, and I've also been adding a few more of these advertising enamel panels. Right, so here we are, we're back at the bench, and this is the opening I need to sort out, because this is where the rose window is. It's here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few of these along there now. 1, 2, 3. At the same time have a flat piece going along there, so when they come down and sit on the flat piece. The idea there is it brings this apex lower than this apex, so it doesn't clash with the window on the building. So let's start putting some of these frameworks together. I've already pre-cut this one and it fits in the jig nicely. So if it fits in the jig, it's going to fit in here nicely. So I'm just going to put a little bit of PVA wood glue on here and then rest that in there while I get the pieces of paper in. Because obviously it's got to be flush with that edge. So as you can see, I've got the truss in, I'm just wiping the excess glue off now. And we'll leave that, and then that'll be dry for tomorrow. Because I can't put that beam in yet, because it just won't stick at all. Just put a little bit of paper in there. And we'll just let that stick. And I'll do the same down here in that corner. Right, so we shall leave that dry until tomorrow. Right, as you can see, I've added a new piece of timber in here now, and I thought I could get away with using the left hand template yet again, but it's going to sit too high. It's going to end up covering some of the window up. So after a little while of trial and error, I have made up this piece which sits flush with the top and flush with that edge there. And what I'm going to do now is cut another one exactly like this to go alongside there to create two windows in here. And I might actually cut a third one to go in there, because the pitch is not that much difference. As you can see, if I put that there, you'll be able to see there's not a lot of difference in the pitch. As you can see, it's about 3 or 4 mil difference. I'll just zoom you in so you can have a proper look. As you can see, there's not a lot of difference. There's about 4 millimeters in it. So that's the plan, to cut 2 of those, one for there, one for there. So I've already got a template. And then what I'll do then is, once that's in, I will glue 2 flat pieces which will sit there on the top and then flush with the bottom there down either side. So I've got something to lay the card on. So now we have all those trusses made up now for the 2 windows this side. And as you can see, it is a very subtle difference in apexes. That is just enough to miss the windowsill on the rose window. So we shall let that set and then we'll have a look at it later. So what I'm doing now the roof canopy framework is complete, I'm just taking off all these little bits of paper that are hanging over where the joints are. And then what I'm going to do after that is give it a complete sand down ready for painting before I stick any card onto it, because I'll be gluing a card roof onto it and it'll have a gap in the centre for glazing. So as you can see, there's lots and lots of little bits of paper that's got to be trimmed off, taken out, ready for sanding. Right, I have now sanded the canopy down. I've taken all these edges off in there just by using some P180 grit, just getting in there, getting some nice round edges in, ready for when I come to paint it. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the trusses come along, finish, come along, finish, because this area here is where the rose window will be, but the window is going to be on the outside. So let me place this on the station and we can have a proper look. So now that the canopy is in situ, I can show you what my vision is now. So the rose window is going to stay outside, but passengers coming through the concourse could look up and still see the rose window through these 2 big windows that I'm going to put in this side here. So I've come to a little bit of a compromise with what I'm doing, or what I'm trying to do. So the next phase is to glue some cardboard to these rafters now. In the photograph, it's window panes all the way along the centre, with a little bit of cardboard there, and a little bit of cardboard on the bottom. I've got to review the photograph again just to see how it looks, or how it did look for real. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. It took an age to sand down, but I'm not going to paint it until I've got the cardboard on, because the cardboard will stiffen it up, because it's still quite flexible. And this iron girder will still move, so I'm debating whether to keep it so I can lift it out for maintenance and things like that, because it does come out quite easily, just lifts up and then drops back in again. Once the cardboard's on there, it'll stiffen it up, no ends I think. Right, so I've worked out the height from the pitch to the tip here, and it works out at 68mm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have 20mm card, 28mm of glazing, and then 20mm card again. So what I've done here is I've super glued it to the first pitch of the roof, and I'm just going to go each and every truss, if you like, all the way along, one bit at a time. Now, because there's a bend in the roof like this, you can physically bend the card to bring it down to meet the shape, like so, which is good news, because otherwise it would have been a struggle to do this. So I'm quite pleased with the way that could work. So I've left a little bit of an overhang at the end, because yeah, I think now I'm going to be using this roof as a roof that I can lift off for access, for maintenance and things like that, so it won't be getting glued in. Right, so as I'm going along, I'm only doing one truss at a time, just to make sure I can follow the shape of the roof. So if I do them all at once, I can see what's going to happen. It could end up like a zigzaggy snake, if you like. Right, so I've got super glue on the next 5 stanchions, so I'll just do them one at a time, just press them firmly, but keeping the roof square, because this is straight, this piece. So I'm using this hand to push the roof straight as I'm pushing the card on. Try and keep this section straight, because it doesn't start to bend until it gets to here. So as you can see, I've cut another piece of 20mm by 1mm card, 20mm that way and 1mm thickness. So just round about here where the bend is, I'm just tweaking it, just pulling it and stretching it at the top, so it forms a slight curve. You'll see once I get to the end. Right, it's not much of a curve, but there is a curve there. So what I'm doing now, I'm measuring from the bottom edge of this card 27mm down onto the rafters. So as the card comes around, it'll be more or less at the same height. Right, I've almost completed the actual roofing onto the apexes now. There's only one little bit left to do, and that's for the viewing of the rose window if you're on the platform looking up. So these will be slightly bigger windows than these. I've squared off the ends on both sides, and if you look along there, it's quite effective. And then you've got the gap, of course, here where the trusses stop. So let's have a quick look at what it looks like on the layout. I have now placed the canopy roof in the station, or on the station, and by using the super glue, although it goes off quick, it does help by bending the card around to suit whatever canopy shape you want. And I think that has worked quite well with this particular build. Right, so I think that's just about all from me this week. Oh, just before we go, I have cut away the back seam here so I can extend the baseboard by about a foot, which will allow that road to come round and down into the station. Yep, more work, more fun. Alright, thanks for watching now everybody. See you later. Bye.